So I'm working on this game, Awful Marco Bros, right? Not anymore. I've officially pulled the plug on this project and it is cancelled. You won't be seeing it released on Steam. In this video, I will tell you why and the lessons I learned out of it. I made a game where a Mario-like character beats the princess and you play as the dinosaur turtle and its minions to kidnap her and defeat this plumber hero. I made this game for the Game Wins No Game Jam and it won first place, cash prize and all, so I naturally thought, well, I might as well toss this game on Steam, right? The game is already made, so I can release an improved version and there is not much to lose. Also, I can use the cash prize to pay the Steam Direct fee and it's all good. There are other games on Steam that are quite similar to the famous Plumber Hero. For example, Kill the Plumber is a game that I learned about from the comments in my videos, and they have something much closer to being an actual Mario game. But this game was released in 2016 and these were different times. Because it turns out that Steam wasn't so keen in holding a potential legal battle with Big N, and yeah, especially after the heated power drama. So, long story short, my game, Awful Marco Bros, is no longer available on Steam Store. And the Steam page that I set up is now just a gravestone.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
No point beating a dead horse, but you can still check out the gem version on itch.io if you're curious. People seem to like it and it runs well on mobile and you don't even have to download the game. Now into the meaty stuff. What have I learned with all of this? Lesson 1. I learned that I can make a decent game in a relatively short time. Awful Marco Bros took me just a handful of days to make and even the improved version wasn't a huge time investment for me. Considering I've got a day job and a life outside of game dev, it wasn't exactly a huge effort to make this game. I roughly invested about 60 hours working on this game, so it is not a big deal. Plus, I picked up a few tricks along the way, not only game dev related, but game design, art, marketing, how to release it on Steam, and even some legal jazz. I learned that it is possible to make a compelling game without taking many months if you are using the right tools and if you know what you're doing. And being conscious of the time and effort a game will take to make is very important, especially for commercial games, of course. So that's the approach I've chosen to go with. Short, sweet and polished games, and games that take less than 3 months to make. Lesson 2. Stay the heck away from existing IPs.
Bruh.
I mean, it is common sense, right? So don't be like me. Stick to original ideas or you end up in hot water quicker than you think. And don't get me wrong on this, drawing inspiration from other games is okay. Just look at Stardew Valley, for example. It is basically a love letter to Harvest Moon. Another example is Rogue, a game from the 80s that inspired thousands of games. So yeah, take inspiration from other games, sure. But when it comes to well-known characters and IPs, just don't. Even if Nintendo doesn't sue you, you will have trouble finding storefronts and publishers that will take your game seriously. If you are planning on investing blood, sweat and tears into a commercial title, take this lesson very seriously. Stay the heck away from existing IPs. Lesson 3. Marketing starts with the right game idea. Yeah, apparently that's the thing. Awful Marco Bros was getting some serious interest for it being just a game jam game. For the short amount of time that the Steam page was up, I found it gathered a good amount of wishlists during Steam Next Fest without even having a demo available. Goes to show that the right game idea is more than half the battle in game marketing. Investing into a game idea that sparks curiosity and provokes a sense of, I have to try this, is really important. Market research and finding an existing audience is crucial if you want people to play your game. So it is clear for me that my next project idea should spark a similar response to that of Awful Marco Bros. But of course, without stepping anywhere close to other IPs next time. And since you are still watching, I have an amazing recommendation for you. Jonas Tyroller put together an amazing video that hits a lot of the same points I've learned in lessons 1 and 2. And if you're looking for some extra insights, then do yourself a favor and give that video a watch. Trust me, it is worth your time. So there you have it. The improved version of Awful Marco Bros is dead and the Steam page is just a gravestone now. But the itch.io version is still kicking, so check it out if you're feeling adventurous. If you want to learn about my approach for making games and the tools I use, check out this video right here. And stay tuned for more game dev content. See you next time.